Just like to welcome and thank everyone for coming to take in the game. Beautiful, probably one of the better nights of this entire summer. Um, Wanted to provide a quick introduction to the concept of our educational series, Up Your Game. So ARG works with over 2,000 companies here in the Washington, D.C., Baltimore area, about 11 or 12%. So on your way home, every 1 out of 8 companies that you pass on your way home are, on average, an ARG customer in one way, shape, or form. So in that role, we have about 200 meetings with IT leaders, such as yourselves, every month, and we have very extensive relationships with over 60 different service providers and access to many multiples of that. So what we thought would be beneficial. What we thought would be beneficial is to have a seminar series that allowed us to share some of the best practices that we've developed through those relationships. And tonight we're going to talk about outsourced managed network security. And for those of you who are watching the IT headlines, we know that there's another ransomware attack rolling through Eastern and beginning to emerge in Western Europe right now. So it's a very topical moment. So I'm going to hand it off to Steve Kopp, who leads our partner relationships, for a quick introduction of the Masergy team. And we're going to spend literally 15 to 20 minutes talking about managed network security, and then we're done. Eat, drink, enjoy the game, and just have a good time. Thanks, sir. Thanks so much.
Right. So, guys, I appreciate everybody coming in. We're lucky to have Masergy come in. Masergy is actually an industry leader in outsourced security. A lot of times companies will want to do things in-house, and we are pointing to Masergy to take a lot of these services and outsource those services to get a better ROI and get a better experience. And as Steve mentioned, there's a lot of exposure in security. They take away a lot of that exposure that you would have on your own. So with us we have Doug Forster, who is our global account manager, Sean Coyle, who is actually our Director of Accounts, and Ivan Painter, Senior Security Architect. I always got to remember senior. But these guys know what they're doing. We recommend them often. And again, if you haven't talked to them, I would recommend you talk to them before you purchase anything security related. It's something that, again, the expenses can definitely be justified and it'll be well worth your time, or it may help you justify an expense that you're going to make. They know the industry better than anybody. They have a product set that rivals anything that I've seen out there. So throw it over to Doug.
All right, great, thank you. So I'll just give a quick overview of Masergy, very wave tops, to set the stage for Ivan, who's going to go in a little bit more detail about cybersecurity and our offering around managed security and pro services. So Masergy as a whole has been around since 2000, so we're fairly new, not so green anymore, but we started primarily focused on wide area network providing. So we were a global MPLS network service provider focused on, just MPLS only. We built our network from the ground up using the latest and greatest technologies back in 2000. So I like to think that we built a very unique mousetrap, and I don't think there's anything else out there to this day, even though MPLS is so prevalent. So we built it in a different environment. I'll give you an example of why I say it's different. We've got one AS number globally. We're serving customers on pretty much, I think, 6 different continents. I can't even tell you how many now, but it's a large, expansive network that we own. It's not NNIs. It's not, using somebody else's network to expand our footprint. So it's a unique offering. And we've kind of morphed into the unified communication space and into the cybersecurity space in the same mentality. We want to be unique. We want to provide a very strong customer service experience, and then make sure that we are offering a solution that meets the customer's needs, but it's also very flexible in the way that we design it for our customers. So, with that said, about 5 years ago, six years ago, we moved into the space of managed cybersecurity, and we did that through an acquisition of a company called Global Data Guard. Global Data Guard was around as long as Masergy was, founded back in the year 2000, and so they were existing customer, or excuse me, existing provider. We didn't just build this ourselves and start selling it a couple years ago. This is something that had been in place, well established. They just didn't have the marketing clout to bring it to the states that we've got it today. We bought it. We put a lot of money into it, expanded the capability set, And I think you'll find, when we talk about it in a little bit of detail tonight, that it's a unique offering. To give you a high-level overview of why I say we like to say we're very customer service focused, we have just yesterday got our Net Promoter Score. A Net Promoter, if you have never heard of it, is a survey that our customers take. All manner of different companies subscribe to it. ARG has a shining example of a great Net Promoter Score. It's 85%, which, when you're looking at a high score of 100 is pretty darn good. And what it is the propensity of your customer base to recommend your service to a peer. So, basically we have 75% this year. We had 70% the year previously. We were around 65% before that the previous year. So we're increasing our customer satisfaction rate.
The industry average is 11.
Churn.
Yeah. Industry average is 11. So
That's the stage. Yeah, the tech in the telecom space, it's around 8 or 11, depending on who you ask. And then when you look at the tech sector, it goes up to around 20%. So we're up around 75%. So we really think we're doing something right. So we got a great company. We've got a Glassdoor award we won just recently. I've been with the company for 14 years. It's a great place to work. I think that spills out into how our customers are, experiencing Masergy. So with that said, I'll pass it off to Ivan to go in a little bit more detail about cybersecurity.
Great, thanks, Doug. You want to be my clicker for me?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Click away over there. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. What a beautiful day we have, right, to watching baseball. I'm just going to talk briefly on what we do at Masergy, but truly just the industry as a whole and where security is and where it's evolved to. And you're going the wrong way.
Oh, sorry, sir.
In his defense, he's doing it upside down and backwards.
Yep, that's why I had him doing it. That's why it's not me. There you
See
go.
how you did
So
that.
we skipped
That was
one.
sneaky.
This is a great line from Robert Mueller, and it's effectively, and he actually came up with another one, but it's true about organizations. It's not a matter of when, but if, and it's just a matter of time. And if you don't know, if you think you are not infected, then you are, and you just don't know it yet. Today was a great example of what occurred. If we all know, or if you're in the industry, you know about Petra. It's wonderful to watch people that steal things really get their just desserts. So it's part of the industry that we live in, or part of the society that we live in. Things are compromised on a regular basis. We have to be prepared for that type of compromise. Speaking of compromises, we've all experienced one or heard of at least one of these or the other. Sony's been up there, Home Depot has been up there. I think one of the things that we really want to emphasize here is the brand reputation or the brand damage that can occur without that proper protection. Even if you are infected or something does happen to your entity, it's a matter of what did you do to prevent that. So when we look at this slide here, this is truly what is in place today, or what we find a lot of our customers currently have. And they have silo devices where they have a firewall or an IDS or SIM system that might be collecting data or preventing data, or that firewall, that hard crunchy shell on the outside. But these systems are not really as integrated as they should be, or as where they are with our organization. In the device or the platform that we roll out, they're truly integrated. One more.
I was just gonna say, if you go back 1 second, I have to. Anybody in the room, what firewall do you use within your organization?
WatchGuards.
IDS, IPS. Is it WatchGuard?
IPS.
IPS, and then have a SIM. Have you guys gotten into that world yet? So it's what we see is consistently these are all separate silos, right? And where the value of cybersecurity really shows through is the integration of all these systems. That's where the market's really going, is they're bringing all these different systems together and using the logic and the data to understand what's going on in cybersecurity and where we need to be looking.
Well, but not just cybersecurity as a whole, the traffic per se as it moves throughout networks, right? So there's traffic that's all around us, whether it's wireless, whether it's wired, wherever it is, everything has a pattern behind that traffic. So we can identify more and more of that traffic pattern by incorporating these things together and do mathematical computations, that's really where the industry has to go in order to defend. So this is a great example. I know this is one of Doug's favorite slides. You know, the criminal can go out and literally buy a tank for $24. You can go out and buy a ransomware right now with Bitcoins. I think it's about $150. You can own it. And, you know, what you're getting for, as far as the defense goes, to defend against that is, this says $1 million. The number is phenomenal. You have to educate your employees. You have to put all the proper watch guards in place. And you really have to make sure it's constantly working. It's constantly being vigilant against that. You know, when you see things such as I Want to Cry, and they come across in such a beautiful format as, you know, a document that you know you want to click on, or that you know a secretary is going to click on, or an administrative assistant, and it's, you know, do you really want to not check? Does your boss really somewhere stranded and he needs that $10 million? It's like, okay, maybe I should double check. But the bottom line here is that this is what's going on right now. These things can be purchased off of the dark web. As I stand here with just Bitcoins, it's very easy to do. So the security world in itself is not really that expensive, but you need to really focus upon it. The budget has to be there for it. It's just not antivirus or that hard, crunchy shell anymore.
The other side of this is it's ever evolving, right? I mean, I don't know how many of you spend any time on the dark web or the underweb. It's scary how many different things are for sale out there and how often new things are popping up, and that's why it's an asymmetrical game, right? It used to be, okay, I have a firewall, and now, okay, I got antivirus and a firewall, I'm good, and okay, now I'm starting to manage my logs. It's constantly evolving and it's constantly moving, and that's why looking at an outsourced solution, or looking at whether you do it in-source or outsource, looking at some way that you are constantly moving with the way that the industry is progressing is super important. So making sure that you, whether it's in-house technical resources or whether it's somebody that's outsourced, you have people that are both looking at a proactive and a reactive standpoint.
And that's a tough industry too. You know, if you look at things to bring them in-house, to be able to keep those individuals there, to keep them happy while they're working at 3 o'clock in the morning on Christmas Eve versus somebody that's actually monitoring your network, or somebody that's constantly receiving, you know, job invitations. Because I know I have them quite a bit. I've got one of these certifications here that says, hey, I'm supposed to know what I'm talking about. So it's tough to keep a good certified employee in place. That's one thing. So we do have a operations center that's 24/7. Any good security operations center or any good managed security service is going to have one. So whether it's Masergy or not, that's one of the things that you really do want to look at. You want to make sure that somebody's monitoring your data 24/7. You want to really make sure that they know what they're doing, that they're not a new upstart, that they've been in the industry for a while, and that they have certified people that are there. All of our analysts are a minimum of security plus, so they're just not pulled off of the street. They're part of the industry themselves, and they actually eat. We eat our own dog food. We understand what it is and how it works, and it's something we kind of get excited and jazzed about. At our company, we're a bunch of engineers, and we do a very poor job of marketing, but we're excited about what we do, and we do it very well. That's actually a buddy of mine. The key takeaways. You want to jump in?
Before, my man, you're doing great.
At the end of the day, what we really need to do is to identify and understand, and you've heard me say this before, where are the jewels? Where's the key value within your network, and make sure that it's protected and monitored on a full-time basis, right? If you're not doing that, you're really kind of missing the boat on here. When you have a provider that's sitting out there and that can just monitor a bit or a portion, if they're just looking at SIM data, what else are they missing? What else are they missing? So we really need to make sure that we understand where the values are and where things are going. I'm watching because they're about to sing the national anthem. Yeah. On to the next one before we hit. That's it.